We are well into the new generation of iterative consoles, of course, with the PS4 Pro releasing just the other month and the release of the Xbox Scorpio not too far on the horizon. And one of the concerns that has been raised about these new consoles is that, of course, they could add to development costs by introducing a need for research and development into these new consoles, and of course the extra development time put into these higher quality assets in order to make proper use of the new hardware. Of course, you're also supporting additional console SKUs, and of course, while they're already kind of doing this if they're released on PC, it is an extra cost on top of the development costs that they already have. However, with all that in mind, we have some interesting comments from the EA Vice President of Investor Relations, Chris Evenden, who said that this would not necessarily be true, and that the general intercompatibility between the PS4 and Xbox One and the Pro and the Scorpio respectively would actually mean that no new R&D would need to be done. And he said, quote, "You can increase the performance of consoles by asking AMD for a better CPU and asking them for a slightly better GPU, but the programming for games doesn't change very much, as the performance profile of the hardware isn't changed, it just got faster all round. And the operating system, what they're doing now with the new PS4 Pro and Xbox Scorpio is really the same software platform, the same operating system, so R&D costs shouldn't change. Now the quality of the assets you apply will slowly increase over time, but that's the way it's been forever. That's the way a development cycle works, is that you develop for the highest performance platform, which is generally a high-end PC, and then the tools you use will scale that down for other platforms that you're supporting. That's not a challenge either. It shouldn't really have a big impact on R&D because it's not really changing what we are doing." And that is a fair point, to be honest. I've actually said this myself many times, that yes, this is an extra challenge for developers, but it's not really any more work than they're already doing for the sometimes seemingly infinite combinations that you can have with PCs. Now, as I said, these are concerns that have been leveraged by other people, and they are, on the surface, valid concerns, but of course he is very right in what he's saying, that they usually start with a high-end PC version and then scale it down. And of course, if you're making the game for consoles only, then you would just start with the 4K version and then scale it down for the PS4 vanilla, but that's not really any different than what you do for a PC anyway. There's not any special assets being made for the Pro or the Scorpio that aren't going to be made or used of elsewhere. You know, especially for example, if you're released on the PC and you have a 4K texture pack available for those with the hardware to actually run it, then, you know, all you're going to be doing is having that 4K texture pack either raw or scaled down a little bit for the hardware in question. So it might have had an incremental increase in research and development and developer time, given that, you know, they've got these two extra platforms on top of the platforms that they already had, but it's not bringing a new department out of nowhere. It's just making extra use of the departments that already exist because of PC gaming. You know, these concerns were leveled before the consoles even came out, and of course Scorpio is yet to come out, but you get my point. And I said, well, you know, is it really that much extra work though? I mean, they're already doing countless optimizations for the PC. Surely it's actually easier to have, okay, we have the PS4, we have the Pro, and then we have the Xbox One, and then we have the Scorpio, rather than this person could have an infinite combination of hardware things, and we have to make sure we cover as much of that as possible. You know, the console, when you can put it that way, sounds like an easier job. So I have to say I'm in agreement here. As I said, I do feel like, you know, the concerns are valid on the surface, but I do think, you know, it's not too much of a concern. Of course, you know, we could be wrong. We could see some unexpected hiccups in the development for the Pro or the Scorpio. You can never really truly predict what's going to happen when it comes to technology. Technology, of course, can just, you know, break because fuck you. But I think mostly we're going to be seeing this comment come true. But of course, I'd love to hear some thoughts from you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.